Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Power Rangers. It's a movie starring Elizabeth Banks and a bunch of teenagers, and Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad / Malcolm in the Middle. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, I mean, if you've seen Power Rangers, you know that they have Megazords sometimes, and the Megazords are sometimes animal themed. Yep. So moving on to the good and the bad. So I was never a huge Power Rangers fan. Like I've seen I don't want to say several, I would say more than several, but less than a huge amount of various Power Rangers series over the years. But I was never strongly attached to Power Rangers and haven't been well versed in the lore, especially of the original, which the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which I think is what this one is mostly based off of. So whatever differences it has from canon, like I don't give a shit about because I never saw or cared. So, that's my perspective coming into it. And I gotta say that Bryan Cranston is always a win, nails it here. And Elizabeth Banks, who plays Rita Repulsa, like she is just having the time of her life being the evil villain. She is just reveling in it, and it's just so much fun. It's like, you watched The Mask, I assume, right? So when you watch The Mask, you can tell that Jim Carrey is just having a fun-ass time the whole movie. And that, not necessarily that style of energy, of like manicness, but just the amount of like, you can tell she's having fun with this movie. And it is such the appropriate tone for this movie. So I thoroughly enjoyed this movie the first time I watched it, and then the rewatch that I just did. It is fantastic. I love every single one of the main of the Power Rangers. I don't know their non-Power Ranger name, but like every single one of them is just fantastic. They each bring something different to it. Now, is it a little obvious? Is it a little I don't want to say ham-fisted, because these actors, they sell it, which is really the important thing in my opinion. Like they may have kind of the most stereotypical of like high school drama-y background of like, oh, I'm the one whose parents don't understand me type of thing. Like it's not breaking any ground of subtlety in their backstory, but it's done so well with such heart. Like the actors, I think, are the really important thing, especially the Blue Ranger. Blue Ranger sells it, and the Red Ranger, which I guess should not be a shock, but like all of them just do such an amazing job with this. And the storyline is pretty basic. There's a thing that the bad person wants, and the good people are trying to stop it, but they just got introduced to these Power Ranger powers, and they have to grow into them and figure them out and become, they have to do training to get zen enough to be able to power up. And I gotta say, I feel like they did a decent amount with the budget that they had. I don't know what the budget was, but especially the suits once they had them on, and I don't want to say this as a spoiler, but the Zords, once you see those things, like it may have taken a little while to get to them, but they definitely knew where their budget was going to go, and I think that they used it appropriately. I will say that there were a few times when they were out of suit. So if you remember The Matrix, so when Neo is first getting introduced to The Matrix and Morpheus loads the jump program, and so he like jumps from one building to the other, and they cut it in such a way that with the camera angles and whatnot, it looks very realistic. And in this one, I think that they were trying for something like to have a little bit more dynamic nature of the camera and following and whatnot, and perhaps they actually used like the actors jumping over with like some wire work. I'm not sure exactly, but their attempt of doing that jump bit, it did not achieve it. But I didn't care, because how much fun they were having, like the way in which it was portrayed and the chemistry that all of the actors and actresses had with each other made it so that I didn't mind that wasn't the most realistic thing, because I thought that they did a good job of portraying what happens when you suddenly have superpowers type of thing. And it was an enjoyable experience. And that's the thing, is that this had enough storyline with enough people who cared and with the actors who could sell it to me, that any downfalls of the actual like plot complicatedness whether or not people should or should not have been killed and how they were or were not killed or whatever else. Doesn't matter because you're having such a fun time watching this that, and like I said, I don't have the nostalgia boner that a whole bunch of people will have about this movie being like the TV show or not like the TV show, because I don't give a shit. I just enjoyed the movie for what it was. And they had some really great lines in this movie. So, yeah, I would say that at least if you don't have a strong nostalgia for the Power Rangers, you're still going to have a really good time with this. If you do have a strong nostalgia for the Power Rangers and you watched it, let me know in the comments down below if it worked for you or if you hated it because it did or didn't follow the whatever. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was a fun time. I will definitely watch this movie again because it's one of those movies that you got action and you got decent CGI and you have a fun storyline that still makes like you care about the actors. So, and that's really what I want is I want to care, but I want to have a good time and I want to have a happy ending. So sue me. So yeah, happy endings. I'm not gonna spoil exactly how, but it's a Power Rangers movie. So if you thought it was gonna end sad, I don't know what to tell you in life because it's not that kind of movie. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.